Welcome to Up Tops, and we hope you enjoyed the following ranking. Please let us know your favorite in the comments. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our future videos. Number 5.
"30 Days of Night", 2007, is a chilling horror film set in the isolated town of Barrow, Alaska, where the sun sets for an entire month during the winter. Directed by David Slade and based on the graphic novel by Steve Niles, the story follows Sheriff Eben Olson and his estranged wife, Stella, as they fight for survival when a pack of bloodthirsty vampires descends upon the town, taking advantage of the long sunless nights to hunt. The film's premise creates a uniquely terrifying atmosphere, as the residents of Barrow are trapped in darkness, with no hope of escape. The vampires, led by the menacing Marlowe, are depicted as savage, animalistic creatures, adding to the film's relentless tension. The stark, frozen landscape serves as a perfect backdrop for the horror, amplifying the sense of isolation and hopelessness. With brutal action, eerie visuals, and an oppressive sense of dread, 30 Days of Night is a standout in the vampire horror genre. It offers a fresh take on the vampire mythos, delivering an intense, visually striking horror experience.
Number 4.
Time of death, 3:31 p.m.
Thirst, 2009, directed by Park Chan-wook, is a bold and visually striking South Korean horror film that explores the themes of morality, desire, and human nature through the lens of vampirism. The story follows Sang Hyun, a devoted Catholic priest who volunteers for a medical experiment only to be transformed into a vampire after a blood transfusion. Struggling with his newfound bloodlust and guilt, Sang Hyun begins an affair with Aju, the wife of a childhood friend, which spirals into a dark exploration of lust, violence, and moral decay. Park Chan-wook masterfully blends horror, romance, and dark comedy, creating a film that is both visually arresting and emotionally complex. The performances, particularly from Song Kang-ho and Kim Ok-bin, are intense, adding depth to their morally conflicted characters. Thirst is not a typical vampire film. It is a deeply philosophical exploration of human nature and the consequences of giving in to temptation. With its provocative narrative, stunning cinematography, and thought-provoking themes, the film is both unsettling and deeply engaging.
Number 3.
Is there a possibility of a night flight from Tangier to Detroit? Is that correct?
I love what you've done with the place. Remember when you gave that string quintet to shoot?
Only Lovers Left Alive is a 2013 romantic drama vampire film directed by Jim Jarmusch. Set in contemporary Detroit and Tangier, the film follows the eternal love story of Adam, portrayed by Tom Hiddleston, and Eve, played by Tilda Swinton, 2 centuries-old vampires who have experienced the breadth of human history and culture. Living in seclusion, Adam, a reclusive musician, and Eve, an enigmatic lover of literature, navigate their immortal existence while grappling with the ennui and melancholy that comes with centuries of life. Their centuries-long relationship is tested when Eve's wild and unpredictable younger sister, Ava, played by Maya Wasikowska, unexpectedly arrives on the scene. Only Lovers Left Alive is celebrated for its atmospheric visuals, eclectic soundtrack, and meditative exploration of art, science, and the human condition. Jarmusch's direction imbues the film with a poetic and introspective quality, offering a fresh and unconventional take on the vampire genre.
I'm really hungry. Do you maybe have something? Could you smell it all the way from LA?
It's always a bit weird with family.
Number 2.
It's been like this the whole time, Deacon, on dishes, and it still hasn't moved in 5 years. You're a cool guy, but you're not pulling your weight in the flat.
What We Do in the Shadows 2014 is a mockumentary-style comedy that follows the lives of 4 vampire roommates living in modern-day New Zealand. Directed by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clement, who also star in the film, the story humorously documents the mundane and bizarre aspects of their centuries-old lives, from household chores to navigating the modern world. The group includes Viago, Vladislav, Deacon, and Peter, each bringing their own eccentricities to the house. The film cleverly blends supernatural lore with everyday situations, resulting in a fresh and hilarious take on the vampire genre. The humor comes from the juxtaposition of the vampire's ancient customs with contemporary issues, like trying to get into nightclubs or dealing with werewolves. The mockumentary format adds to the comedy, with awkward interviews and deadpan humor creating a unique tone. What We Do in the Shadows is a witty and charming film that balances quirky humor with horror elements, making it a cult favorite. Its offbeat style and clever writing have earned it widespread acclaim, and it later spawned a successful TV series.
Number 1.
Let the Right One In, 2008, is a haunting and atmospheric Swedish horror film that intertwines coming-of-age themes with the supernatural. Directed by Thomas Alfredson and based on John Ajvide Lindqvist's novel, the film tells the story of Oscar, a lonely and bullied 12-year-old boy who befriends Eli, a mysterious girl who moves into his apartment complex. As their friendship deepens, Oscar learns that Eli is not an ordinary girl, but a vampire with a dark past. The film excels in blending horror with tender emotional beats, focusing on Oscar's search for acceptance and Eli's need for connection, despite her monstrous nature. The icy, wintry setting adds to the bleak yet beautiful tone of the film, creating a stark contrast between the innocence of childhood and the violence that lurks beneath the surface.